So now that you know a little more about Quia, how to set up your classes, get logged in and do some searches, let's take a look at quizzes. Quizzes would be any activity that you wanted students to do that you would either grade or score. You can either search for a quiz or a test that's already created using the Shared Activities tool in the menu on the left, or you can create your own quiz. If you find a shared quiz that you like, but it doesn't exactly fit what you need, you can modify it to fit what you want. So we'll start by searching for a quiz. Go to the Shared Activities, either type in the search criteria in this bar, or go down here and search a subject area. I'm going to search, let's search biology. And here you get that advanced search again. So let's type in human biology and submit. And here are some quizzes and activities that have been prepared by other educators that you could look at and see if they fit what you wanted. So let's take a look at the biology pre-assessment. You can preview the quiz just by clicking on it. And if you can go through, I usually just take it, and it doesn't matter if I get them wrong because I'm just reading the questions. Once you decide if that's the quiz that you want to use with your students, you can go all the way over to the right-hand side of the screen. That was biology pre-assessment, and click this copy button. Then it takes you to your copy quiz page. You can either go ahead and continue, and it will show up on your quiz page, or at this point you can assign it to any of your classes. I'm just going to continue, and it takes me back to the search if I want to look for more. Once I've searched and found everything I wanted, I can come back on the left side of the screen to my quizzes button, and it will take me back to my quiz page, and in alphabetical order I should find, not in a folder, so other quizzes, biology pre-assessment right here. So in your quiz menu, with the quiz you just copied from the search, you can edit the quiz if you want to change some of the questions. You can assign the quiz to your classes. Once it's assigned, you can grade the quiz manually if you need to correct an essay or a fill in the blank or some question that is hard for the computer to score. You can also preview the quiz to see what it looks like. So here's an example of the preview. This is just where all the questions are listed out. And each of these little icons will tell you exactly what it is. You won't have any reports till you give it. You can email the quiz to yourself, or the students copy the quiz, print the quiz if you have students who need a visual copy rather than just take it on the computer. Or you can export the results to a grading program, archive your results for the previous years, or you can delete the whole quiz. The other option for quizzes is to create your own quiz. At the top of the screen there is a Create a New Quiz button. Select this and you can create a quiz by selecting how many questions you want and what type you want them to be. You start by giving it a title. So if I want to title this quiz, What Do I Know About Quia? You don't need a description, but if you want it, it can give your students an idea of what the quiz is about. Then you add questions. So you can add as many questions as you want. You can make them be a variety of response types and add. And you can add questions as many times as you want. So if I want 3 multiple choice questions and I add it, then it gives me 3 boxes to put in multiple choice questions. At the end of that, I can add more, I can change type, I can go on and get as many quiz questions as I think I need. You can mix and match types throughout the quiz. In addition, you'll set answers so that the quiz will automatically be corrected and scored for immediate feedback for the students. You can also choose to self-grade questions such as short answer or essay by leaving the answer options blank. The Advanced Creator allows you to add images, video, or audio files, and a few other advanced options. The Basic Creator is a great place to start, and it will fit most of your needs. For the advanced features, I would suggest you watch the tutorial videos, indicated by an apple both up in the corner and over here in your left-hand menu. Once you've created your quiz, you will want to go through your settings to make sure your quiz works to fit your needs. So we've written a short quiz in Quia. We're going to go down and finalize it. If you want the questions out of order, you just click that you want them randomized. You can choose whether or not to display the numbers and the point values. You have the option to change it into several languages. If the students are going to be filling in answers, you need to tell the computer whether you want it case sensitive or to ignore punctuation. If you're working with younger students, obviously you want to leave the choices as open as possible so the computer doesn't grade it incorrectly. And you want to tell it whether you want it to activate the HTML and latex. When you check this box, it makes the quizzes easier to take with non-flash devices like iPads, some phones, smartphones, iPods obviously. It just makes those activities accessible to people using that technology. And then on the quiz, you can choose to include a link to your profile, or on your profile page, a link to the quiz. Then you can preview it. And this is what our quiz looks like. And if you're happy with what it looks like, you can either continue editing or you can tell it you're done. From here is where you assign the quiz. So if I want it to go to period 10 and 12, this is telling me that anybody who takes this quiz has to log in. I do this for when I use Quia in my classroom so that I know the students which quiz they've taken. Otherwise they're just taking it basically for themselves and I can't see their scores. So I'm going to click OK for now, but I'm going to go down and change that setting. Okay, right here, login not required. This quiz can be accessed by anyone. I'm going to turn that on for this particular quiz because I want people outside of my classes to be able to take it. If you want it to be only accessed to the students for the class they're assigned in, then you have to click that. Now there's just a whole bunch of settings down here to make it work with what you need it for. So there's an option for, do you show all the questions or one at a time? The global settings will go for all of the tests, so you probably want to leave those on. Names are optional, or you have to have the students fill in their names. I don't do that simply because they've already logged in with their username, because I turned on the login required button up earlier. Attempts permitted, unlimited, or you can set it to how many times you want them to be able to try to take the quiz. Some teachers have been concerned that they'll take the quiz once and do badly and go back and try to take it again to get a better score. That is a possibility. The downside is if you say they can only take it once, if something happens and they accidentally get logged out, then that counts as their one try, and you have the ability to go in and delete that try, but that requires that you take the time away from the class to go change that particular setting in Quia. So I always give them at least 2. That way if something happens and they get logged out, they can go back in again. Do you want this included? How do you want the grade included? The last attempt, the first attempt, or the best? You can give them a time limit. You can only allow them access between certain dates, but those are the global settings that'll go across all classes. Then you can go into individual classes and change some of those same settings. If you want one class to have a little bit shorter time or a little bit longer time or more attempts, you can change all that class by class. When you've completed all your settings, you hit done. And your quiz, which we named, what do I know about Quia? There's the quiz right there that we just created. So once you've assigned the quiz to your classes, it's ready for the students to take. All they need to do is go to the web page for their assigned class, and the link will be there for them to select. So if I want to assign this to class period 10 and 12, which I did, then I can go to my classes page and I can look at class 10, go straight to the class web address, and there's my quiz, what do I know about Quia? So it's that simple. After students have completed the quiz, you can go back into any quiz and grade or regrade any questions through the grade option. So I have a quiz, I have a test that students have taken that had 2 questions that I needed to grade. So I'm going to click on grade, and I can do it one of 2 ways. I can either individually go down to the student and go student. The green dots mean that I don't need to do anything, it's already graded. The red dots mean there is a question waiting for me to review. So you can see period 4, I haven't graded any of these. Now I can click on edit and go in question student by student. That looks like this. So I click on it, and then I have to scroll all the way down through all of the questions, and there happen to be 30 in this one, and they were the last 2 questions. Again, you can see the little green dots, meaning they're okay, or the red dots. So if I am looking at, there was an image attached to this one that when the poles of the magnets were switched, they should repel, because north will pull if you tried to put them together, and north and south will attract. That student got that exactly dead on, and so then I go down and submit and grade the next student. Now, going student by student can take a little bit of time, so I go back to the grading overview, and instead I'm going to go directly into question number 29. What this does is it gives me all of that question for every student, and these are their student numbers, and I just keep scrolling down until I find a red dot. So right there, and then because north and south attract, because they're unlike poles, north and north are like poles, so that is perfect answer, worth 2 points. And I can go down to the next red question, and same thing, 2 points. And then that's all for that one. So then I go back to the top, and I'm then going to go back to the grading overview. Question 29 should now be done. Looks like maybe I missed a few. But I'm going to go into question 30 because I know there were a lot of those that I did not grade. So coming down here, that, and then I can give feedback. The 2 north poles will be together, causing them to repel. So you can grade the questions, you can give the student feedback or comments, and then once you're all done, I'm not going to sit and go through these, but that's how you do it. You submit and grade the next question, and this should take me right back to that questions page. The pencil icon is the key. It's what gets you to the edit or to the grading, to be able to grade the question, change the score. Finally, you can go into the reports menu for a variety of reports about any quiz your class has taken. So I'm going to go back to quizzes, and let's look at that same magnetism test, and I'm going to go into reports. So there are many, many options for a report, and many options underneath each one of how your reports can be shown to you. We'll just want to get a summary. So all classes, 138 records, I'm going to divide them down by class. I want my proficient level at, well, I can show individual scores, and I can include the report showing how many students scored above the 80th percent, and distributions within each group. Now again, this is only one type of report. There are many, many different types of reports. Trouble spot report, so you know where you need to go back and do some further instruction. And then this again is the way that one of the reports looks. And I'm going to go back to that reports. And let's not show individual scores if this is the report that. Okay. So then we have by class period, we can see that by the large majority of our kids did get over that 80th percentile. And you can kind of see where your trouble spots are with that report. And then there's another way of looking at it. So these are really great for data walls and anything that you need to have some nice, cleanly made graphs for. So just going back to our Quia page, and in our next video, We'll explore the activities that you can use with your students to practice and reinforce classroom instruction.